Yay Media Group.
All right, everybody. Yes, it's another beautiful day in the neighborhood, honey, and we are still neighbors. Yes, we are still neighbors. You know, I thought I was gonna be moving, honey, soon, but I'm gonna just stay right here in my room, baby. Like Brandy said, I'm gonna just sit up in my room, honey, back here thinking about you. And today I have a wonderful guest, honey. This man needs no introduction, but I'm gonna introduce you to him just in case you didn't know him. So, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together, snap your fingers, clap, honey, for Mr. Deshaymond Solomon. Hey, Deshaymond.
Hey Gary, how you doing? Thank you
Uh,
for having me.
yes, anytime, honey. It looked like it took a minute, but baby, Jesus, honey, is still on the main line. And I say, ain't no way we gonna go without having the shaving, honey, on this show. And honey, here you are.
Amen. Amen to that. How you doing?
The Shaman, I'm doing fair to partly cloudy, baby. They say it might be a little rain today, honey, but that's all right, honey. It's gonna wash all our sins away.
Yes, it will. You know what? Before we get started, I have to tell you, my mom loves you on this nation. So she told me to tell you hello. She was excited when I told her that I was interviewing with you. So she says hello and she
Well, you
loves you
tell
so much.
Mama hi, honey, and I love her back, honey. I'm gonna do like Carol Burnett do. I'm gonna pull my ear to let her know I'm telling her hi, honey.
Okay,
Yes,
that's
Lord.
awesome. I will.
Yes. So the shaman, honey, I mean, I said I've never ran into the shaman before, and honey, Lexi said, well, you gotta meet him and we gotta put him on the show. So I said, well, you know what? We gotta have the shaman on the show, honey, as soon as possible. And possible is right now, honey. So
Right.
I mean, so the shaman, honey, tell me, the artist about yourself, a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am an R&B music artist. I am a music curator. I have a
Mm-hmm.
playlist on Spotify called What I'm Listening to that I'm loving right now. People are enjoying it. I have two podcasts in pre-production right now that will be dropping this fall. And I'm just working myself to the bone. I'm trying to get in wherever I fit in. I'm a blind music artist, so that's not really something that's common. Being black, blind, and gay in the
Oh,
R&B music game is something totally different. It's like never been done before, at least to my knowledge. So, I'm just charting new territory and making my own way.
well, the shaman, honey, that is good because you know what you gotta do, what you have to do, baby. And you was BBG. I always thought you were going to say BBL, honey, because that's what's good. When you threw the G in for gay, I said, "Oh hell, honey, it's BBG, honey." So the Sherman, that's good. So how long have you been recording? I mean, how long have you been singing and doing music?
Well, I've been studying music, like classical music and instruments. I play a couple of instruments as well since I was about 5. So in my entire life, in my teens and early 20s, I took a stab at the music business and I had a deal that was working with one of the big companies and it didn't work out because they
Mm.
said they didn't know how to market a black gay R&B singer.
Ah,
Which is I understand for the time they didn't, but Sam Smith came out like a year later, so I didn't understand that. But so I took a step back from music and I did my
no.
corporate career for a
Yeah.
while and I lost my sight in 2015 and I had to make some real big decisions and like 2021 I decided, listen, if I'm going to live as a blind person now, I'm going to do it my way and I'm gonna do it doing what I love, and that's music. So 2022, I dropped my first single, and last year in May 2024, I dropped my debut album called I Am, and
Mm,
it's been pretty good received. Streamed
yeah.
in over 80 countries with nearly a million streams, and no deal, no big budget, no nothing. So I'm very, very blessed. So
Yes, you are. So the
yeah.
shaman, tell me this: are you totally blind, partially, or how's that?
Gary, I'm the real blind, baby. I'm the real blind. 100%. I'm Stevie Wonder,
I was just about to say, are
Ray
you
Charles
Stevie
blind.
Wonder? My Lord. And they gonna sit there and say they don't know how to market you. Had they marketed Stevie Wonder, honey, and Ray
Exactly.
Charles. So I guess
See,
that's the new thing.
I wasn't blind at the time though.
Oh,
So,
okay.
that was like 2010s. So, I wasn't blind then, but I did lose my sight in 2015. And, sometimes God got to sit you down so
Oh
he
yeah.
can he'll put you on your path.
Oh
What I'm saying?
yes, honey.
Yes,
Oh
and
yeah,
now I get to amplify disability culture and show people that blind people can own their own companies and do all of this stuff. And,
exactly.
yeah,
I think that's what I had to do too, honey, with cancer and all the stuff that I went through, honey,
yes,
and
yes,
bipolar and everything, honey. So sometimes you gotta get sit down and let people see, honey, that you're still a human being and you can still do, honey, the things you used to do. Cause,
absolutely.
cause right now all you gotta do is feel, baby. I could feel, honey.
Gary. Well, that's right, though. That's true.
Yeah,
I have depression and anxiety, and because of the blindness, social anxiety and stuff now
yeah,
too, because I'm not seeing everything, but there's so much going on around me that I hear.
yeah,
And so it's just a sensory overload every time I go out. But I love
yeah,
it, so I'm gonna keep doing it.
yeah. So the Shaman, where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Lafayette, Louisiana.
Oh,
I
you from
grew up,
Lafayette? I was born in
yes.
Opelousas.
I know you lying, Gary. I didn't know this.
Yeah, I was born in Opelousas and raised in Port Arthur. Honey, I go to Lafayette, honey. I go through it when I'm driving home from Black Atlanta. I'll go through Lafayette, and so my aunt
Yeah.
have lived there.
Oh, that's awesome, man. So we
Yeah,
we neighbors. I didn't know
yes,
that. I
yeah,
did
but
not
in
know
Port Arthur, right up the street. So
and I had family in Port Arthur. So,
really,
I would go there a lot too as a kid.
yep,
Port
that's
Arthur and Houston and Beaumont. Yeah.
exactly. That's where my
Yeah.
uncle lived in Beaumont, and well, my cousin still live there. And like I said, I was raised in Port Arthur and honey Lafayette and Opelousas, baby. That's the stomping ground. Matter of fact, I think I may go to Opelousas. I really need to go visit my aunt soon, honey, because I always tell them I'm coming out there. But when I'm driving, honey, once you're on 20, bitch, I ain't trying to stop and going through, honey.
Exactly.
So I'm like,
Yes.
yeah. But so you still live there?
No, I'm here in Atlanta. I've been in Atlanta for about 20 years now, Gary.
Oh,
So yeah, I'm in Atlanta and I've been here my whole adult life. So
so
yeah.
you like it?
I love Atlanta. Of course, we're Black Hollywood, so it is a
Yeah,
little plastic and fake.
yeah,
But what I do love about Atlanta is the concentration of Black folks really doing well in their businesses and being
yeah,
entrepreneurs and holding offices. The Black wealth and that Black excellence lives here, and
yeah,
that's here to stay. So I love
yeah.
Atlanta for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it. I guess I like it for all that too, but I love it too for the shopping, honey. Just get me to the mall, and and you got me, honey. Just
See, now,
give me
Gary,
the mall.
you got 150 jobs. I'm an entrepreneur, so I can't go slide that card. Like, I got to be very, very, very picky and selective in where I'm swiping that card and what for.
Okay. Yes,
You've
Lord.
been having your coin. I
Yeah,
got to
well,
get
child.
mine.
Yeah, honey. Just it's coming, honey. Jesus said it's coming. I can feel it right now in my spirit, honey.
I
It's
feel it in
coming.
my spirit too. It's
Yes,
shaking
honey.
up.
Yes, Lord.
Pasando.
Yes. Okay. So now, the Shaman, tell me this now. Who's some of your biggest music inspirations, honey? I mean, besides Beyonce.
I love Beyonce.
I
Let
know.
me tell you, every artist that says they're an artist loves Beyonce because no one in this business works harder. Her work ethic is something to be admired. But my all-time favorite artist of all time is Monica. And the reason why I love Monica so much, her voice is beautiful, so soulful, but she's real. She's authentic. She's one of the few artists that really just got to be herself and
Hmm.
pour who she is into her music. And, when she speaks, she has something to say. It's always a life
Yeah.
lesson or something like that. In her music, she sings from her soul. Nobody emotes the way she does. So I
Hmm.
just love everything about her. I know every one of her songs. Like, she's my all-time favorite. Now,
Yeah.
my influences definitely Luther Vandross, definitely Maxwell, John Legend in there as well, Donny Hathaway. I love the blind EDM artist Lachi. I'm part of her organization, RAMPD, which is Recording Artists and Music Professionals with Disabilities. It's a great organization that kind of takes the chains and the lockdown off of the industry and gives you a place to walk through. It's kind of
Hmm.
a gateway. So
Yeah.
that's really helped me with a lot of opportunities. Brandy, she's a vocal beast. No one can stack and lay vocals like her. I'm a 90s kid. So I
Yeah,
just,
cause honey, I was
yeah.
about to say I had two things to say to you. Number one, honey, you definitely are a Gen X gay, honey, cause all the gays love Diana Ross.
I'm a millennial.
Well, you're a millennial. Then you didn't mention Diana Ross, honey. And I'm like, wait a minute.
I love the boss. I love the
She's
boss.
the
Don't
epitome
get it
of
wrong.
womanhood. She set the stage, honey, for all those
She
girls you
did.
named, honey.
She did. She did. And Brandy did a movie with her. Monica
Exactly.
sampled her Love Hangover song in the first night. So, they pay homage to her as
Mm,
well. So, yeah.
yeah. But I'm sure you know by now Monica and Brandy are going on tour. The She
Yes.
Boys Mine
Oh
tour.
my God. When I tell you I want to be at every city, but Gary, I don't know. I don't know. I'm a little busy, so
Yeah,
we
but when they
definitely
come
gonna
to
hit
Black
Atlanta.
Atlanta,
Oh
you'll
yeah.
definitely you could I'm sure you'll be able to see. But it's funny that you mentioned Brandy because Monica, because I just talked about Monica yesterday on Dish Nation. But it's funny. Me and my friend Shirley, we were in Houston, the restaurant Houston's, and Monica came in with a friend. So she stopped by and we spoke and everything. And I told her, "Oh, Monica, girl, we ain't got no money, baby, to pay for this food. Girl, can you help us?" So, honey, Monica and her friend paid for me and Shirley's food, honey. That was so nice of her, honey. Yeah, she paid for.
That's
No, I was
so
just
awesome.
joking with her, but honey, she paid for it. So I sure, honey,
But she's
received it.
sweet like that. She's sweet
Yes.
like that. Let me tell you, I met her so many times. Shit, she gave me a phone one time,
Hmm.
and she was doing an opening at one of the AT&T Experience stores years ago,
Yeah.
right before Still Standing. I got a phone from her. I went back. Her aunt Linda, rest her soul, made cupcakes. She was just so sweet. She was talking to me about the music industry and all of that. She even invited us to the VIP section with like Brian Michael Cox, Kendrick Dean, JD. Like everybody was up there. I was so damn nervous. I didn't even ask any of them about music or
Oh,
about my career or anything. So I missed that opportunity. I fumbled the bag in her words.
yeah.
But she's just that real sweet person. I've always looked up to her like a big sister. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? She only a couple years older than me, but it's like, she's always been that big sister for me for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I like her. I met her a
love
couple times,
her.
but this recent time we were in Houston, honey. I was like, girl, that was so nice because I told her, I said, let me tell you something, Monica. If God came back that day and say, Monica, what have you done for my people? You can say, I fed them, honey, because she sure fed us,
She
honey.
does.
And it
Yes.
was definitely a blessing.
Okay now.
That was some
Okay
money I was
now.
able to save, honey, probably go give, honey, to one of my benefactors. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
What benefactors, Gary? See, okay. But
Now,
that's why she an icon though, because she
mhm,
that person. She's so good to people. Everybody that I spoken to up, no one has ever had a bad thing to say about Monica. You know what I'm
yes,
saying? So I love that for her, and I
yes.
love that she's like that.
Exactly, honey. So now, the Shaman, tell me this, honey. So, what do you want, honey, to say, some of our audience members about your ability to accomplish your goals in spite of becoming blind? What would you like to say? I think we kind of hit a little bit on it, but is there anything
Mhm.
in particular?
I think that, a lot of it is ableism, and that's by people that do not have disabilities. They think, it's always oh, bless your heart. Oh, you're so strong. Oh, this and that. But don't oh and woe me. Woe is me. I'm still educated. I'm still a beast in business. I am still, a classically trained musician. So despite of, one since being gone, I'm still fully able and capable. So I think that, a lot of times people don't take you seriously in the entertainment business because
Oh
they
no,
see the disability. You know what I'm saying?
and that could be more than disability in sight.
Exactly. Exactly. It could be your skin color. It could be the way you talk, the way you look, or
I'll
whatever.
say your sexual preference, hell.
Oh yeah. Well, absolutely. Absolutely. But I bust through that too because get on stage with me and
Hmm.
see what happened. You know what I'm saying? So even with that, I don't worry about any of that stuff because I'm a kid that grew up in a trailer park in a two-bedroom trailer that should have been condemned. You know what I'm saying? So I know how to get it out the mud, and nobody's gonna outwork me. So I think that just because disabled people or black people or gay people or whatever your intersection is, just because you have that, don't think that you can't have it or you can't get to where you want to get to. I'm a firm believer in if I can't go through the front door, maybe I'm gonna go around the side, jump through a window, go through the
Hmm.
back door, or bust through the wall because you can't tell me that I can't have what God has for me and what He told me I'm supposed to
That's
have.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So
That's right.
I'm relentless. I'm resilient and I persevere. So, with this disability, it makes it harder because there's technological things that, I'm physically not able to do. But I tell you one thing, I'm gonna get it done, and I'm gonna form my team and make sure that they got me. So, yeah.
Oh, honey, my blood sugar, honey, is going up. The damn thing beeping. Hold on, Deshaymond.
Ooh, I'm so sorry.
Oh no, it ain't your fault, honey. Girl, I just ate a piece of cake, honey, and some bread on it, but that's all right, baby, honey. The devil is a lie, honey. We're gonna keep this interview going.
Now, why you eating cake, Gary? Now
Let me
you.
tell you something, Shame, honey. Listen, honey, you only live once, honey. I just ate a piece of it. I just ate a little top of it, honestly, I think I'm gonna go get the rest and put it away. Kind of dispose it, because honey, it just sit there and it looks good. Some sour cream cake, honey, and I like it. But hey, if this be the last supper, honey, so let me just have what I want. So,
I feel
so
you. I feel you. You
beautiful.
still gotta live. I love that for you.
Yes, still got a little, even though I do know, honey, I gotta try to, do better.
Mhm.
But anyway, it was something I was gonna say to the chairman, to that beef. You said the devil did, honey, try to get in, and I can't remember what the hell I was gonna ask you about though. But but that's a good thing though. But you have to persevere. You have to keep moving, because like I said, when I was going through my little trying times, I kept going, honey. You can't lay down and wallow, honey. Sorry, it's me, honey. Stuff, because ain't nobody gonna do nothing for you. So you gotta do it yourself, honey, and work yourself out, child. So hey, you're doing the
Absolutely.
right thing.
And I
Oh,
want to give you your flowers too, because what you've done in radio and TV, as a black gay man, you've charted territory for so many people behind you. So, Gary,
yeah.
you're a big symbol and a big influence and a,
Thank
and a role model for a lot of these kids. So be
Yeah,
proud
cause
of what you do.
they gotta see though, honey. I mean, and the thing about it is, though, you ain't gotta wave a damn flag all the time, honey. But just be yourself and be true to who you are. I think these girls that's coming up, these young ones that's coming out today, the boys of mine, honey, they're gonna be with Kelly Rowland and Money Long, the Shaman. Just because I just saw
I
that.
love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
But you have to do what you have to do, honey, and you gotta be true to yourself. Like I tell everybody, and all those people that would call me punks and fags growing up, honey, I say, but look, girl, honey, I get paid to be me. So,
A- Ain't it though? Ain't it though? I think about, I have a song called Gutter, and it
Mhm,
says not bad for N-word from the gutter like me, but
mhm,
it talks about that bullying and all of the stuff that I went through as a little black kid studying classical music in the marching
mhm,
band and doing winter guard and being in the drama classes and all of that stuff, doing original oratory as a kid. And I was teased so much. I was a nerd, I was a punk, I was a sissy, I was all of this stuff. But my comebacks was always, but I could read though.
okay,
And a
and
lot of
that's
them
in more
couldn't
than one
read me,
way.
baby. And you know what I'm saying? And so, I look at it now and you go on Facebook and you see some of those people that really tortured you. And you're like, okay, I see where you at, but I know where I
My,
am.
okay,
Okay.
and you know what, the shame. Speaking of oratory, I'm listening to you. You have a radio voice too. You could do radio. Or do some kind of what they call it, damn, voiceover.
I'm
Voiceover.
working on that. I'm working on that. I'm building my profiles for my voiceover, being a voiceover actor and artist.
Mhm.
And I have a couple podcasts coming out. One of them is going to be called I Am, and the other one is going to be called The Deshaymond Show. I Am is going to be where I'm introducing myself to my audience and just giving them some behind the scenes of my origin story and what I go
Mhm.
through on a day-to-day basis. And the Deshaymond Show is going to be a show that just amplifies Black culture, gay culture, disability culture, and pop culture, and merge all of those and give people from those intersections a platform to,
Mhm.
come and talk about their products, their businesses, their art, all of that stuff. So hopefully I have you on one day too.
Yeah, and
You
just
are
let me know.
huge in the community, and I
Let,
love you, Gary. I love what you do.
well, thank you. Just let me know, honey. I'll be there. Just call my name, and I'll be there.
All right now.
I think
Love that.
the Jacksons said that first, but did Miss Ross say that? She said, "If you need me," Miss Ross said, "If you need me, call me."
No matter where you are, no matter
Um,
how far.
she
Okay?
said, "Just call my name, and I'll be there in a hurry." On that, you can
Exactly.
depend and never worry.
That
That's
part.
my
That
song.
part.
Yeah, yes, honey. So the shape tell me so. I mean, do you have any events or any other things coming up, honey, on the projects coming that you want us to know about before we go?
Absolutely. Gary, I've been busy like crazy, but that's such a blessing. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? To be a working musician is something that a lot of us don't get to, experience.
mm,
So coming out up soon, I did a song for an art project, an art exhibit called Portraits and Portals, and it's curated by Justice Shorter. And I wrote a song called Royalty, which is this anthemic song that is soul music and gospel music and classical music all into one. And it kind of reminds you of, Mississippi Goddam, or even a classical song that's an anthem, but it just talks about what's going on right now and how that, in our, social and political climate. And it just speaks to how Black people and disabled people and people from marginalized communities have been kind of left out of the conversation or forgotten about and
Yeah.
not given our just due. So that will be dropping in July. I am also dropping the anniversary vinyl issue. It's my first vinyl release of my debut album, I Am, this fall. So look out for that. That's coming. I'm performing at the Eddie Awards in September 25th. So I'm excited about that. And I'm
Where's
up for
that?
2 awards. That's going to be at Cobb Energy.
Okay.
So yeah, it's an organization called Synergy Works. And they basically have an igniters program for disabled entrepreneurs where they sponsor and support and train disabled entrepreneurs because disabled people, we make the least out of everyone, and we're pretty much prohibited from earning wealth or building wealth. So we're really trying to promote entrepreneurship in the disability community. What else I got going on, Gary? Oh man, a lot of stuff, but just keep looking out. I'm dropping singles every week on all the streaming platforms. My album is available now. I Am is available on all streaming platforms. So please go check that out. And follow me on all social media. It's just Deshaymond everywhere. Deshaymond. And I give constant updates of what I got going on and all of that stuff. So you'll never miss it. And go subscribe to my email newsletter at deshaymond.com as well. So we definitely we got a lot going on, and there's so much more to come.
Well, that's great, Deshaymond, honey, and I'm just glad that you stopped by, honey. And again, honey, the people can find you at anywhere on all platforms at Deshaymond.
At Deshaymond, that's Deshaymond. And if you want the links to all of it, just go to deshaymond.com, and everything is there, the links to all my music and all my socials. So I love to have you. It's fun where we at.
Good. Well, before we go, so Deshaymond, so tell me, honey, are you involved, or is there a special someone in Deshaymond's life?
Gary,
Hmm.
we live in Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
And you know how dating is in Atlanta, right? It's Black Hollywood, it's the gay mecca of the South. It's a lot of things.
Uh-huh.
So I think that the dating pool is contaminated, but I will say this: I'm conversing with a few gentlemen.
Well, at least you are
Uh,
here. I'm not.
one in particular, but it's so hard to build because, especially at this stage in life, it's a lot of work being done. I'm working a lot, they're working a lot. And honestly, other than him, I haven't met too many, eligible
Well,
eligible people. You know what I'm saying? That's on the
eligible,
same thing now.
eligible,
So
available. Hell, I've been here 14
available.
years, honey, and I just had one. So, honey, I'm just like, and that's gone. So, yeah, it's hard, baby. But like I said, we
Well,
got to be like Jesus and get some dirt, baby, and put some blow life in them, build them out of clay. I don't know how that goes, honey,
no,
because
I
it's
don't know.
just
I can't
hard.
build them though, Gary. I can't build them.
You're not building a bear.
I'm not building the bear, baby. You got to come already built and equipped and raised by a good mother and father and all of that stuff and have a coin or two. Because I ain't got time for all of that.
Well, Kiki
Mm-mm.
Palmer said no. She said, honey, honey, being a Black woman, honey, she said, she said, honey, sometimes you got to take Leroy, honey, where he at, honey, if he's a garbage collector and work. But I'm like, girl, you shouldn't put that out there like that. But hey, to each his and
That's
her
because
own.
Kiki is rich. That's because Kiki is rich and she don't want for nothing. But you know what? When I meet Kiki, I'm going to ask her about that. We're going to have a conversation
Yes,
about that.
yes, Lord. And I see her again, I'm asking her, see honey, how that's working for her.
And
But
you tell
anyway,
her that I have a problem with that statement. Okay?
yes, Lord, yes. Deshaymond, thanks again for stopping by, honey. Good luck to you and your endeavors, honey. And I'm about to find out more about that Eddie Award since it's here, and I might have to try to fall through there. So
Yes,
I'm gonna
please.
keep Leslie up for sure to keep
Tickets
up
are
to date with
available
that.
now. So please come through. I'm performing and it's going to be a good time. I promise.
All right, honey. All right, y'all, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Deshaymond. It's Solomon, right?
Yeah, but I just use Deshaymond as
Just
my
give for
go-to.
oh, he's like Beyonce, honey. One name.
One name
Give
only.
it up for Deshaymond, honey.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Deshaymond, and you have the rest of the day a great day and a better tomorrow.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.